For even more updates on Stephen King's It, The Dark Tower, and The Mist, be sure to check out hybridnetworkyt.com.
What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Hybrid Network and to our continued discussion of Stephen King's harrowing tale, The Mist. Today, it's not a discussion of any monster or who is responsible for the mist that brings all sorts of nightmarish creatures. Rather, I wanted to focus on a more story-driven discussion, a discussion that plenty of fans have gone back and forth over: the ending. At the moment, there are two separate endings to the story. The original ending that Stephen King wrote in the novella, and the ending Frank Darabont came up with in the movie. But what's fascinating about them is that they're almost inverses of each other based on what they mean for the characters involved and the story in general. In the original novella, David, Billy, Amanda, and Miss Repler manage to make it to the Scout, driving forward into the mist. They continue on, seeing the destruction of the roads and the surrounding areas after the mist creatures have invaded their own world. Several things go through the occupant's mind, David slowly giving way to hopelessness. It seems like the mist has expanded further than they originally thought, with the Scout's radio not picking up any major Boston stations, being met only by static and silence. It all seems rather hopeless, especially after the group paid witness to the behemoth walking above them, but in the end, something gives David hope. On a radio that he had managed to salvage on one of their many stops, he believes he hears a word uttered on the AM station: Hartford. Even in the midst of all that they've seen, David and the rest drive on, hoping to find something to salvage and somewhere to go in a world that is no longer theirs. They still have hope, even in the depths of the mists. After all that they've lost and after all that they've seen, hope still stays with them as they drive on. The story ends there, the fate of Bridgeton and the world unclear, but one thing is certain: David and his group maintain hope, and I think that's a big takeaway from the story in general. It really speaks to the human condition and how strong we can be even when the world as we know it crumbles around us. Even if it's false hope, it's something that can keep us driving forward. As for the movie, well, like I said, it's an inverse of the original story. Stuck within the mist with no gas left and no more resolve, David, Billy, Amanda, Irene, and Dan are stranded with no options left. Pulling out Amanda's gun, David counts out the bullets, giving everyone that look, something that they all nod to. They all know what they need to do. The camera pulls out as David fires off the gun, 4 shots for 4 survivors. His anguish running wild, he goes outside and tries to coax one of the horrific monsters into taking his life, but is met instead by tanks and military might, the mist clearing away as he sees scores of survivors being driven out to somewhere safe, no doubt, most likely the Arrowhead base or a surrounding town. In any other movie, this would be a happy ending. The mist is being tamed and the monsters are being hunted, but for David, it's just a loss of hope. In a hopeful scenario, David is void of it all, the lives of his companions having been taken by him when help was only mere moments away. Even in our triumphs, there's heavy loss. In David's case, he lost everything that mattered to him, and there's no way that he can return to that real world the same man again. Depressing and overall hopeless, Darabont's Mist ends on a darker note despite the prevailing of humanity over the mist. But that'll wrap up this video. Thank you all for tuning in, and which ending to the mist do you all prefer? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure you stay subscribed to the Hybrid Network to stay up to date on all of our videos as they come out. My name is Luke, and I'll catch you all next time.